You're now listening to the Zod and Drea podcast.
I was reading how that affects.
Hey, what's up? This is the Zod and Drea podcast, and we're back again for another exciting episode.
Exciting is the word for it, right?
Exciting, exactly the word for it, because Drea was just telling me how to stretch my eyeballs.
Yeah, I know. I was just reading about how when people are in front of their computers a lot, that, you know, your muscles and your eyeballs just go one way. So you got to stretch them. So you got to look to far right and the far left, and it feels really good.
It feels great, and now I can see all kinds of distances
Just trying
and
to keep your eyes healthy.
Thank you. They're healthy as hell. Boy, I'm telling you. Yo, so it's been a crazy weekend. I hope everybody's had a great Memorial Day weekend, and you know, we've had all kinds of things going on our side, on other sides, but, you know, we're hoping that you guys had a good time. So shout out to Sherry for inviting us over to a pool party.
Thank you, Sherry.
You know, we had a really good time.
And shout out to Gabriel. We had a great time at the movies.
We had a good time at the movie, which we will be speaking about.
And also, too, thank you for all that have served and for all of your service, too.
All your service for Memorial Day. Thank you, and hope you guys are resting up and eating all kinds of burgers. Just before we get into everything, I want to make sure that everybody understands our position. We are the Zod and Drea podcast, and if you have not, please go to our website at www.zodanddrea.com and search for the word #MeToo, which you will see that we have discussed this topic various times and are completely against any sexual assault against women. So we've discussed this as many times as we can, so if anybody is out there talking trash about us, we would love for you to just come onto our show, call us, and make sure you just contact us directly instead of going to other means or talking behind our backs because, you know, being from the East Coast, you know, I'd rather people discuss things to our face.
Right, and we always open challenging dialogue here.
Always. So if you have something to say, make sure you check out our other podcasts instead of just going by any one or two sentences, anything that has been said, and cherry picking anything. Okay, that's like that's just as bad as some of the Trump people going into the Bible, saying that they're Christians and cherry picking things about gay people and ignoring everything else. So please don't be like the Trump people, because here at Zod and Drea, we don't like that.
Don't do that.
No. So let's talk about what we're going to be talking about in this podcast.
What are we
really
talking
quick.
about today?
All right, good. We got to do it really quick, but we are going to be talking about Solo, a Star Wars movie as entertainment. What's up with relationships?
Body transformation challenge. We're going to talk about something we're going to take on soon.
Yes, and you're going to see that on YouTube, so make sure you check that out. But the main topic is, will you support the NFL in this upcoming season? Boy, you know that we're going to be talking about that. So let's get into this new podcast today. So what do you want to do? You want to do the happy stuff first, or?
Solo.
Oh!
So low.
He's so low that they call him Han.
So this is now some of the individual Star Wars stories that are now happening, right?
Yes.
And so don't ask me what year this takes place or anything like that, but all I have to say, it's the pretty much origin story, or is that a mix-up of Marvel?
No, it is. It's
really is
the
like
coming of age of Han Solo and how he came to be, why he is Han Solo. I like some of the little Easter eggs that they had in there, if I had noticed them correctly, which you'll see early on. So we're not going to give away spoilers because that's not what we do here. We just love to entertain with some of our reviews and what we thought about the movies. But there was a scene as soon as it comes on early on where Han has some dice in his hands, almost like fuzzy. They're not fuzzy, but they're metal dice that he puts on his vehicle to do his Han Soloing. And
Han Soloing, like that. He made a verb.
But it's funny that I believe those were the same ones. In The Last Jedi that we had seen Luke give to Laura, I think. Mm-hmm. It looked
to Laura.
I said
Leia?
Laura.
I
said Laura. Oh my! I'm going to General Hospital days, I think, or somewhere in another world, something like whatever it was. Luke and Laura.
Who's this Laura?
Jumping in the car and getting out after you're married. Luke and Leia.
Don't kiss your sister.
Yeah, boy. So I'm thinking, I'm not sure, but they were very significant in the movie, so I want to make sure that's what it is, and I'm not sure, but it was cool to see. As well as Lando. You want to talk about Lando?
Lando, who is being, the actor that played Lando is Mr. Glover, right?
Yes, Mr. Glover.
And that's how I'm going to call him, because he is pretty much, he's everywhere right now, right? He's Childish Gambino. He's doing fantastic work. And I really think he just added on another layer of the awesomeness and the suave man that Lando Calrissian is. And I am a huge Chewbacca fan. Since I was a kid, Chewie was my main character.
Yes.
And this movie really then itches my scratch for my fandom of Chewbacca.
Yeah. So Chewie, like, I mean,
He's
you
just so
you
awesome.
saw it coming. I mean, you saw it coming. I knew I saw it coming. The scene with, but it was really cool how they wound up linking up, and
How their relationship started.
their relationship started, but also how he started to fall in love with the big grizzly guy, and even funnier was him talking Wookiee. Like,
Babe, no more spoilers.
that's not a spoiler.
It's kind
Like,
of.
wait, is that really gonna ruin the movie?
It may. People be like, what? He knows how to speak
Oh
that
my God, he
language?
can speak like considering since 1977 he's been speaking to him the whole time. So if this is like a spoiler for you, too bad. Yes, he speaks Wookiee.
Just a little bit, though.
Like Jesus, like they understand each other. Like that's a spoiler.
No.
Like when is Star Wars come
Now
out?
we're going to get the Star Wars fans hating.
Oh my God. Anyway, so that was a really good movie. I really enjoyed it. And so of course, we're seeing Lando. Lando is Lando. Like he's just like his later counterpart of
Are you going to say what I think you're going to say?
I gotta say it. And I swear, you gotta see him in this shirt. And I don't know if you guys know who Gordon Gartrell is, but as soon as I saw it, I'm like, yo, doesn't that look like the Gordon Gartrell shirt? If you don't know Gordon Gartrell, that's because you're way too young and probably just like a millennial.
And still mad at Bill Cosby, so
yeah.
get over it.
So you get over it. But if you don't know who Gordon Gartrell is, you're gonna see Lando's whole gear. But we had a good time. We had a good time seeing. You know what I liked? I liked seeing the bad guys. Like the thing is about Star Wars, they always have the bad guy. Like who the villain is, and there's always some sort of a little switch. They have a lot of little twists that they've been like throwing in since Disney's really been taking on to make sure the storyline is cool. And I love the bad guy in this. I like the actual bad guy. I liked him. And actually, if you think about it, how many bad guys were there?
There were a few, because you think about it, right? When you think there's a bad guy, then there's another bad guy.
Yeah.
But they all add to each other. The story was great. It was a lot of adventure. You just get lost in it, and I think it complements all of the other Star Wars and that follow afterwards, and that is part of now this again origin story. That has been going on, and I really enjoyed it. I honestly didn't think that much was going to happen.
Yeah. Oh, reading on this, it says the dice first appeared briefly in the cockpit of the Falcon in A New Hope. So in the first one, we might have to go check that out and see them. But anyway, let us go on to the next topic, which is going to wind up being relationships, body transformation. But if you can, go check out Solo, which I think they said was underwhelming in expectations what they thought it was going to do. But, well, whatever.
Right.
I'm sure they're going to make their money back. They'll be fine.
Right.
So, relationships. We're going to talk about body transformation challenge. So this is something that we're going to be doing. You want to explain what it is?
So on June 1st is going to be our start date. That what Zod and I are going to do is a full, what we call body transformation challenge. We're going to just really do a whole eating plan. We're going to really commit to working out and pretty much testing ourselves on what that type of endurance is going to be, take on new types of exercises, because life has happened, and I know for myself gotten a little soft, and I also know my family history. I don't want to get certain diseases. I don't want to get into a place where I've got to be really cautious of what my, of certain diseases coming down the pipe. So we're not getting any younger. So we just decided together that we're going to do this challenge together. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited to see what new exercises we take on. Of course, we'll be incorporating some of our running like we usually do, but maybe adding some more weights, more maybe I don't know, Pilates. Who knows? Maybe you'll go to bar class.
I'm not going to bar class.
Why not?
But what I want did you talk about what we were? You didn't say how. Okay, so.
What do you mean how?
This one's going to wind up being a little bit more of a challenge than we have with our whole 30 challenges, which is just strictly diet, pretty much just changing the way you eat. This is doing that and then losing, weight through exercise. So if you go ahead and you lose weight through dieting alone, imagine you add exercise to it. You may gain some because of muscle, but you're also going to lose the fat. So one thing that we want to do is we make sure we are going to pick a celebrity body of some sort in order to achieve that goal. We don't care how ridiculous it sounds. This is how hard we're going to work towards it. So it might take like 3 months. We might start this off with about a 3-month challenge, and it's going to wind up being basically on our YouTube page. So we're going to have it on our website, but we're also going to have it on the YouTube page where you'll be able to follow our progress. So it'll be us at the gym, little clips of us doing this and that, but we're going to have it there so that you can see what we're doing. But did you want to talk about which celebrity body that you were going to take on?
So the celebrity body that I'm going to be taking on is Masi Arias. So don't know if you're familiar with her, but if you're not, get to know this woman. I took it a different way where, like, yes, she's beautiful, she's amazing, she is Dominican, and she lives in New York, but what I liked about her body is how she got to that transformation point. She took on her mental health along with her physical health and really make the connection of how when you improve your mental health in whatever state of mind you're in, how the physical body then can help you with that transformation. And she is adorable. She is smart. She's an entrepreneur. So of course, when I want to emulate somebody, I always look for somebody that I can relate to, that I want to aspire to be in somehow, some way. So I think she's amazing, and her body's redonkulous. And look, I'll just take it on. If I can even get a quarter to even a fourth of the ab that she has, I'll be so happy.
Now I noticed this woman when I was looking at TV and I saw a Target commercial, and I was like, that's when you hit Google. You're like, okay, Google, Target, woman, you finally find her name, and then you start tracking her, and then it's like, hey, I'm stalking. But then you're like, this chick is bad as hell in every freaking level. Then she wound up getting pregnant, and she was bad as hell pregnant.
Adorable little girl, too.
Man, her little girl is adorable. So, yeah, that's a good challenge. So, then I told Drea, she started following her, I started following her, and she's definitely a good one. Mm-hmm. If you can achieve that body, good luck.
For her it took about a year, but like I said, I'd be happy. She's got like 16-pack, okay? She's so fit.
But we are going for it,
you
okay?
Don't even understand.
I don't care. That's what this challenge is about. Now,
and who is your
For me, at first it was going to be Man of Steel when dude came out of the water. I was like, you know what? I want to look like that. Then I was like, you know what? I need a brother man. So I'm going for it. I'm going for Killmonger. I'm going straight to the top. I'm not even going to Creed. I'm going past Creed, and I'm going to Killmonger. Scars and all.
Scars and all.
So I am going for that body type. I'm going to look up his training and what he had to do. And, what people think that, he had to do in order to get that body for Black Panther. But, it's going to be something ridiculous. But I'm going to tell you, at the end of 3 months, my body's not going to look like this. It's going to look a lot more like his. I believe that. So I'm going to go hard for it, and that's going to be my goal. So, if you guys are up for it, make sure you check us out at Zod and Drea, but check us out on YouTube and follow it, and please do it with us. Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Zod.
And I'm Drea.
And we want you to check out the Zod and Drea podcast every Tuesday.
Where can everybody find us at?
You can always check us out on www.zodanddrea.com.
Where else?
You can always check us out also on Facebook at Zod and Drea.
Instagram?
Zod and Drea.
Snapchat?
Zod and Drea.
YouTube?
Zod and Drea.
I see a pattern.
So if you haven't caught that, catch us at Zod and Drea on all the social networks. But also, make sure you subscribe to the Zod and Drea podcast. Where?
At zodanddrea.com.
And also on YouTube and iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, and iHeartRadio. We're coming for you.
Let us know what you think. And if you want to be a guest, reach out to us.
And put all of your input into whatever our topics are for the week. So we hope to check you out and see you there.
Bye. And we're back. What's the topic?
Okay, so the topic is, will you support the NFL in this upcoming season? So the reason why this came up is, in case you haven't seen, all right, so let's start back. When Colin Kaepernick would take a knee, first he was sitting down during the anthem, just by himself. He was a one-man protest. And then when somebody took notice, he spoke to, I think, a SEAL team person. The guy was like, yeah, instead of doing that, just take a knee. It's more respect. And it doesn't seem like you're just sitting there. So he said, yeah, okay, because Colin wasn't doing it out of protest against a flag or an anthem. He was doing it to bring awareness to police brutality in marginalized communities, especially the Black community. So this is the reason why it was happening. He did this once. Once people started picking up steam, like, oh, damn you, Colin, then other black players like, hey, you know what, this is dope. No one noticed him for a long time. Because, that's what you're supposed to do. If you're paying attention to the anthem, you're going to be paying attention to the flag, putting your hand in your heart, whatever. But what do most people do when the anthem comes on and they're inside their homes? They're walking around, they're not listening. So don't give me that judgy stuff about Colin Kaepernick when you're not sitting there standing at attention at your own damn house. But anyway, the NFL and certain not coaches but owners were taking offense to what Donald Trump had said about throw those sons of bitches out, whatever, once they started doing it. But they were fronting. Like the owners, a lot of the owners were fronting very, very hard. Especially Jerry Jones of the Cowboys. Remember, he sat there and took a knee or something like that with his players that one time, like talking crap. And then it was like the next week he was like, yeah, if you guys do this, you're getting kicked off the team. It was almost like just to show something towards Trump. He wasn't doing it for the reason why black people do it. It's like, look, this is the reason why we are taking a knee. Because police brutality has been going crazy. They tear up communities. They beat people up. And those who are trying to demand that black people stand at attention, or anybody who is an ally towards them for that cause, stand at attention during the flag. You're ruining my game. You're doing this and you're disrespecting the troops. Those are the same people who do not listen to why black people are doing it. If black people tell you, this is why we are doing it, and you change the narrative, say, no, you're doing it because of this, that means you will never listen. You're exactly like your ancestors who enslaved us, and you're going to be absolutely nothing in the future, and you're more than likely you're teaching your children to do the same thing. So, with that said, the protests wound up going to the NFL, and the NFL has now
implemented a new policy effective the new season that'll be starting in August or something like that.
I think so.
So the new policy pretty much states that if a player is going to protest, then that means you're not going to do it on the field. You better go sit out in the locker room, and then you come out of the locker room after the anthem is sung, so that this way you protest on your own and not on the field. If you do, as a player, decide to take a knee or somehow protest during the anthem, your team will be fined. Not the player, but the team will be fined. So, my question is, and which I have many questions on, but the main one is, have corporations, because the NFL is a corporation, people. It's not like just some patriotic thing. It is a corporation. And so has this corporation changed its policies and given under pressure by the ranting and raving by the Trump administration or Trump himself?
Yeah.
Have they given into that? Because if so, in some forms, that is he can't do that. That's actually illegal to do in some cases where the administration doesn't have the power to do that. But again, if they've been given enough pressure by their shareholders, by their viewers, then that's something else to look at, and I'm really concerned about that because, again, you're taking away what the true meaning of that protest was. The NBA, for example, totally hating on this policy. NBA, I'm a new fan, right? I'm going to start watching the NBA more than ever now because that is one corporation that they know that their players, their top employees, are black men or men of color, and they cherish them to the point where they support any type of issue that's important to them. They encourage them to share it on social media and encourage that, yes, as an NBA player, if this is important to you, we will support you. So that's just one example of how a corporation can be supportive of their employees.
Now, see, I rarely ever watch football anyway. I don't have a team. I don't, being from Jersey, I don't cheer for the Giants like my brother or my sister who loves the Cowboys, and my other brother who loves the Cowboys. That's not me. I don't care about them. Even my sister, who is a diehard Cowboys fan, we're talking about, she had been since she was a little girl, and once Jerry did that, she was like, no more. Mm-hmm. Straight up. She's like, I'm not supporting jack of the Cowboys. Didn't even look back. There are a lot of people who are not going to be looking at the NFL games, and there are other people who didn't last year, so they're not going to do it again this year. And I see it on Facebook and social media, and a lot of my friends are like, well, looks like I'm not watching it again. The more people get used to that, the more the advertisers are going to really change their pricing. So, NFL is going to have to take this hit. What they're doing is, just imagine it this way. The people who do it, let's just say they're white, okay? Because there's no black person out there, unless you're like Ben Carson or Paris Denard, who would be against this. because this is standing up for the rights of black people not to be killed. Okay? That's what this is. It's like, bring this attention to this. As if everybody came to the attention of this, like, this isn't America. Should not be a place where black people should just get killed willy-nilly 5 times the rates of whites just because they can, because white people are not going to fight for them because they have never really fought for them. And don't try that Civil War crap, because after that, what did you do? Reconstruction and Jim Crow? So no, you didn't fight for us. If you're not going to fight for us, that means you're going to allow us to stand and make... So they're going to change the narrative in saying, no, this is why you're protesting. It offends me of your protest, so we don't want you sitting there kneeling. We want you standing for the flag. It's another way of controlling black people because they can't do it in any other way. Shut up and just play, just like Laura Ingraham or whatever the hell her name is, telling LeBron James, just shut up and dribble.
Right.
That's what they say to us. Let's just be real. That's what they want to control us on that manner. But also, imagine this. Just imagine this. So we have to do that because you don't want our First Amendment right on during the NFL. You don't want our First Amendment rights to exist. You want people to be forced patriotism to stand for your benefit so that you can ignore a growing problem in the United States. So let's say the NFL said, you know what? We're going to have the National Guard go out there and bring the flag out. Mm-hmm. But we don't want them to have guns out there because of the Second Amendment. So we're going to almost not allow that because of the Second. We don't want guns in a public place, so we don't want the National Guard to have guns out there. I will bet money the same people who are bitching about the right to protest and the right to assembly, they would complain if they did not allow guns on the field, wouldn't they?
Right, because it has nothing to do with the game.
It has nothing to do with the game. They would not do it, and they would say, oh, there's a problem, no, the First Amendment. But see, you're willing to sacrifice the First Amendment. You'd be bitching about the Second, but you are willing to sacrifice as long as black people are not allowed to say what they want to say. Let's just face it, that's what it is.
I always hate the statement of, well, they get paid so much money. They get paid millions and millions of dollars. Why should they be protesting? Okay, as the football players, yes, they should be paid millions and millions of dollars, because would you be taking a hit to your head at full speed every day and injure your body the way they do? I mean, the studies have now shown how much brain damage happens to football players now more than ever once they get out of the NFL. So yeah, all that money that they're making is going to have to go back to their medical attention and to help them with all of the disorders that they're going to have to deal with because they were entertaining you while they were on the field taking those hits. I was an NFL fan. I didn't have a specific team. I am from Arizona, so I did support the Cardinals. I was more collegiate, more ASU, U of A. That was my stuff, right? I really liked I enjoyed seeing that. But did I realize the game was tough? Yes, it was tough. Was I supportive when, let's say, a football player from, let's say, ASU got a contract to go to the NFL? Yeah, because I thought that was great. That scholarship or whatever it did helped them get through. But when I realize, though, and when I see how the NFL, again, which is a corporation, is treating their employees, I can't support that at all.
I mean, I don't know about, just strictly on just strictly about the protest itself. Like, my thing is, these owners, and I hate even calling them that, but these owners, that's how they feel the position that they're taking. They own these players. If we pay you, then we own you. If we own you, we're going to tell you what to do. We're going to tell you what to do and when to do it. The one time that people shouldn't have to dictate when someone does anything is on the field during an anthem. You should be able to do what you want at that moment, not as an employee, because the game hasn't even started, but as a civil servant of the, or just as a civilian of the United States, being able to say, you know what, this is my anthem, this is my flag, this is mine, okay? This isn't yours, it's mine. At that moment, it's mine. And guess what I can do with mine? I can do whatever I want with mine. Which means if I feel like kneeling in order to, bring attention to Sandra Bland or, some of these other people.
The incarceration system.
Philando Castile and Trayvon Martin and some of these other people, Mike Brown, who have been, Eric Garner, who have been killed by police, then I should be able to do that because it's mine, my time. But these people want to take my time away from me and force me to stand because I'm wearing an outfit, guess what? Half of those people in the audience are wearing the same outfit. So, you know what? I hope every single team member goes back in that locker room and stays there. Let the white ones go out there who think that the flag, means whatever for them and that they're not getting killed by cops too, because they are. They're not getting killed at the same rates, but that doesn't absolve them of getting killed by police. People don't understand that prior to 2009, players being on the field for the national anthem wasn't even a standard practice.
Right.
Before that, they didn't come out on the field. They were always in the locker room, and then they would, remember, then they do the national anthem, and then they'd run out and charge the field. You remember all that? Remember those days?
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, they kind of like made it where it's all militarized and Captain America type stuff, where now football is America's game and this and that. And
was that after 9/11?
Yeah, it's definitely, 2009.
Yeah, so, but, okay, yeah.
Yeah, 2011 happened, 2001. So it's like all this hoorah and all this other crap that you're doing to football players. You know what? Keep the military out of football. Let them play the game, do what they're supposed to do. You collect your endorsements. You are a business. It's true. But if somebody's bringing attention and using their power in order to bring attention to something that is way greater than your stupid game, then allow them to do that. And any critic that has any problem with that, then see me. Because the fact is, if you criticize what you see on that field before the game or after the game, that has anything to do with a protest or their First Amendment rights, then that means you are more anti-American than they are. In fact, you're I don't even know what it is, fascist, that you're just absolutely making them stand for something in order to appease you. You're a slave owner. I mean, straight up, that's just what it is.
Dictator?
So you're a big-time dictator, and that's everybody in the stands who goes for it, and that's especially Trump. Trump is an idiot. He's a moron. Point blank. Whoever voted him in is the same way. We
got to remember, when was the anthem used at sport events? Because it was like first brought on in baseball, like during World War I, all for recruitment.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, it was used for recruitment. So when sports were created and developed, government and the military had nothing to do with it. They came to the organizations to recruit, to promote their organization, really. So think about that. Like, nothing at all in all these games and sports that were created weren't at all having to do with the government, with the military. They just use this format.
And they're using them for it. The military has nothing to do with football.
Like, the game is played at bases, yes, but
that's not what it is.
Right.
It's the National Football League. That's it. You're a freaking sport. So I'm going to tell you one thing. If every single black person who is a player was like, you know what? This is bigger than my check. This is bigger than my paycheck. And I am going to not only take a knee, but, I am going to withhold myself and I am going to protest. Then go ahead and do it. Because, we need more people like the brothers over in the Olympics that put their fists up in the air. Tommy and I think it was Bobby. We need more of them. We need more people. This isn't the first time. Colin Kaepernick is a hero, and at some point it's going to be proven that he is. In the same way that Rosa Parks sat on that bus, she was just tired of it. She wasn't even protesting.
Look at all the grief Muhammad Ali got.
Muhammad Ali, same thing.
Mm-hmm.
They are now American heroes, and you're crazy to believe that in like 20 years and now, when we start looking in the history books, that Colin Kaepernick won't be up there. Because he brought attention to something that was way bigger than you. And he went against bigotry. During the most racist president that we've had in a long time.
Like, just doesn't even care.
Yeah, I don't care. You can say what you want. But anyway, just to let you know real quick, yes, we are banning the NFL and we're not going to watch that crap. You can keep that stupid ass game. We're done.
I'm good.
Yeah. So what's up with soccer? Anyway, squash, anything, curling. God, anything's better than
maybe even
NFL.
Hockey. Who knows?
Yeah, oh God, no! And the way that they treat that brother, oh man, that's gonna be the next topic. Yeah, black people in hockey. You hockey fans are the same as these stupid football fans. Anyway, make sure you check us out, www.zodandrea.com and @ZodAndrea, everywhere you can find any social network. We are going to be there. And make sure you just follow us on YouTube for our our body transformation.
Body transformation videos. There's going to be videos that we're taking of even the food prep that we're going to do and some of our workouts. This is going to be awesome for us. It's going to be scary as hell for me to share this type of information, but I'm willing to do it.
Yeah, so we're going to see you later on the flip side, all right? So until then, check out next week.
Bye.